Hi guys, and welcome back to another tutorial on my YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to create a lined pocket. There's a bit of a detail to it, so I will explain to you guys as we go along. So let's get started. Okay, so to start we need our main fabric, and here we're going to place our lining over. I decided the size that I wanted, and then I added like a centimeter or 2 centimeters seam allowance. So this is where you can decide what size you want, and you can draw all 4 lines. This is how big your pocket would be. So as you guys can see, I'm just going to draw all around to get the measurements of my pocket, and this is also a marker, so it would disappear once it's pressed. Okay, so now we're going to top stitch this area and the bottom, leaving the top part open. Okay, so I stitched my lining in place, and it's best for you guys to also use the same color thread. Also, it's inside so you can't really see it, but I didn't have a brown one. I don't know why. I got the closest color to my lining. So what we're going to do is we're going to press the top, give it a good press with the iron. Next step is to turn it around. So what we're going to do here is we're going to bring in the extra fabric from the main fabric. This is because we want to use the seam allowance from the lining, and we don't want to catch in any extra fabric from the main. So I'm going to pin it in place. This is what you have to do with all 3 areas. So do it on the right and the left and the bottom part. Also, I wanted to give you a little tip. Make sure you're not pulling the fabric, just gently lift it and pin it in place. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our main pocket. The size is exactly same as our lining, so we're going to put it on top, sandwich the main between the original pocket and our lining, and we're going to pin all around except for the top. And here we're going to fold it because this is the top of the pocket where we fold, and we want it to get it the same size, slightly bigger than our lining, because we don't really want to see the lining coming out from the top. Okay guys, so I'm going to explain something here. As you guys can see this detail, I prefer to see it, so I sewed like 4 millimeters away from the original stitch to get to see this. If you don't want to see it, stitch exactly over the first stitch that we did, but if you want to see more, you have to stitch with a more distance from the original stitch. This is our original one, so if you go over it you won't see it. If you go far away you'll see it more. If you go in between you'll see it a bit, like I did on mine. So I'm going to sew around this, and once I sewed we're going to turn it inside out. So here we have our pocket done, but she's not yet fully done. The next, I'm just clearing the little extra thread or parts that are attached. I just forgot to cut my seam allowance before I turned it to the right side, so I'm going to turn it back the wrong side, and I'm going to cut my seam allowance, the extra, because it felt so bulky. So don't forget to first cut your seam allowance and then turn it to the right side. But I think it's really good to turn it to the right side and see if everything's okay. Come back in and cut your seam allowance. So you best to check it before you actually cut in your seam allowance. I also wanted to show you guys how it would look if you would have stitched over the original stitch. So as you can see, there's no lining showing. Now the only thing that's left is we're going to hand stitch the lining for the top part. As you can see here, it's fully hand stitched and everything's in place. So this is the only part that we need to do, and then we are done with our pocket. So this is our final lined pocket. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if there's anything else you would like to see, please leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe. Bye till next time.